link?
Number anyway, so.
I think you might have to share my YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, true. Alright, because it is only one person, so that was great.
Hola.
I'm gonna get a pillow quick, sorry.
So, try not to get Stefan cut out. Mom Michelle here. I am excited to introduce y'all to the new mentees here at Casa de Seva. And we have Stefan,
Hey.
originating from Chicago. Elise from London. Carolina from Berlin. They'll be here for 3 months doing the Ascension Immersion program. And today we are in some way breaking our silence from our medicine journey we had yesterday. Yesterday we started the day with a beautiful rapé, and then followed by some mushrooms and cacao. And we are going to just be discussing the integration part of what that experience was like. I did not put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so we'll just, pretty much what we're going to be doing here is talking with one another about our experience yesterday, and whomever is here gets to experience it with us. And it'll be recorded. I need some water.
Cool.
What have I learned? I'm gonna let it flow to me naturally.
Okay, so first I want to discuss with y'all why I chose each intention for you.
Oh yeah. That word well.
So for, I'm gonna explain why I chose that intention, and then I would like to share what I observed from that. So for Stefan, I was called to give you the role of record keeper. For one, I wanted you to experience enjoying journaling because it's going to be very beneficial to your experience here. And what I learned from that is that your identity is very connected to a job. Your old identity is very connected to a job. Should I maybe sit somewhere else? I think it's fine. So, here, how about this?
Oh yeah.
So, what was interesting that I observed from you was immediately you wanted to perform that job perfectly. I mean, you didn't even want to go for a bike ride. You were like, nope, I have to start record keeping.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. And immediately I heard you think it's a job. And it was an intention. And it was an intention, what I intended for that intention was for you to maybe journal whenever you felt an energy come over you or information for yourself. But what I loved about that is that you took it on as you wanted to be precise about the entire experience. And what that tells me is your superpower is to be of service in a very detailed way. And I really don't know anything about logistics, but what I saw, through my own experience as well, my own journey, it was for me as much as it was for each one of us on our own journey together. And I thought to myself, wow, he could be like a very beautiful addition to a community through your commitment to the experience. And you were very detailed, and it was really beautiful to witness. However, what you did is what you gave so much attention to others and not to yourself. And I feel like this is a common pattern for you. And I also heard that through overcoming your trauma from childhood, you attached to your job, and you did that pretty powerfully, and that became your identity, which you committed so much time to that and so much of yourself to that you didn't allow yourself to heal. And so what happens whenever, I mean, we all do this. I did that with my hairstylist, with my salon. I attached so much energy to that so that I could stay busy, so that I wouldn't have to feel a lot of trauma. And what I learned is your child is excited to be playful. I see that from whenever we're at the beach and just running around with Roja, and whenever we did our whenever we were in the meditation type thing, you were so worried about saying the wrong thing or maybe giving the wrong impression. And this is how I feel. I could be wrong, but I feel like you were concerned about this impression, almost telling me something that was going to prevent me from getting to the right area. And you're like, no, wait, I see something else. And it was like there was this need to find the exact thing, whenever it's not like one personal thing, it's everything. It's all of it. It's every single little detail from our childhood that creates one memory can spark another and another and another. And I understand that that's going to be a process with us, and I'm here for it. How did that resonate with you, what I just said?
I mean, you're spot on. Growing up in a single parent household, I attached to money quick. I just never wanted that to be scarce. I wanted abundance. So I did ensure that I absolutely succeeded in my work. And that was a huge focus, and it led to attention not reaching other places where it could have, and that is why I'm here.
Yeah.
And the meditation, I was seeking the right thread, and
I feel like you were afraid that if you didn't provide me the right thing, then I wasn't going to be able to serve you correctly.
correct.
Yeah.
You're right. You're entirely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a stressful experience.
Oh, wow. Okay, good to know.
A little bit.
I'm going to do that a lot more then.
Oh, great. Oh, love it.
Okay. I would like to go back to myself so I can, and then I'll go to y'all and tell you what my experience was. But so what I learned from my personal journey through our journey was that it just more solidified that we each individually are the creator of our reality so definitely defined. What is there's a word there. Anyway,
Crucial.
it was so defined, the detail of how I was seeing that I was seeing that I was the creator of this, and that even what I got was I created my life in Costa Rica to get to my best, highest, most frequency timeline. I created Casa de Seva so that I can be of service to others, because the more I'm of service to others, the more I grow and the more I learn about myself. And then I created each one of you individually so that through your process here, I can also reach my new highest frequency timeline. It was like so wild how I saw it. I was walking down the path and I was like, holy crap. Like, we're so conditioned to fear and to not honor our self and our own journey, because the program says that you're selfish if you think about yourself, or you're selfish if you provide nourishment and energy into yourself before others. But the truth is, because I always do the opposite of the program, the truth is,
True.
the more I can grow and learn, the more I have to give. So with each one of you and each new guest here at Seva, I learn so much more about the human experience, but also about where I still have my own traumas to heal and where I need to focus and how I'm receiving each one of you and myself and what I reflect on and how y'all are a reflection of myself. Every one of you has something in you that I'm seeing as my reflection that is going to provide me with even more healing. And it allows me to get even further and higher in my
Evolution.
timeline. Yeah, my evolution. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And it was like, I'm constantly reminded that I created my female portal, my birth mother, so perfectly so that whenever I am a mother, that I get to be exactly what I did not like about, or what was not healthy for me as a child. And I was so in love, I'm always so in love with that remembrance of we create the perfect portals to come into this reality so that we can have the greatest teachers. You're the same way. You have a mother that is your greatest teacher. And we'll go to you now. And what I saw is that you have exchanged addictions for the next that seem more healthy,
Yeah.
And so
this is what my mum says. My mum always. My mum might probably watch this, but she always says obsessions. I have obsessions, and you're
right.
and you're
And so we haven't discussed too much about your days when you call yourself fat, but what I received from you when we were doing the breathing was what we do whenever we have addiction to food is we're trying to pad our inner child. We're trying to protect her because she lives here in our womb.
Yeah.
And so the more fluff we have around her, the more protected she is, and the less we have to communicate with her. And so once you decided that you didn't want to be that style of avatar anymore, you then went into another addiction or obsession, which is your work. And I heard so strongly, if she does not break this generational cycle of this work, that your mother is the same way, you will end up just like that. And your mother, you created so that you could see this, and you see it so strongly that it needs to be the greatest teacher for you. Like, I cannot be that, so I have to learn balance. And that was a really beautiful awareness for me to see, is for you to accept balance. And the breathing, you are very aware that your throat is activated. You tell me a lot, you tell us a lot that you're very open about your feelings, so you speak them a lot. So you have an overactive throat chakra. And that requires balance. So that's going to require you to, whenever you feel the urge to speak, you're going to have to take it in and have to observe yourself. And observing yourself is hard for you. And then this morning, whenever you said so vulnerably to Carolina and me that you're never proud of yourself, and immediately I knew it's because you don't observe yourself. You don't spend enough time observing you to have pride in you, to be proud of you.
So true.
And so it has to be a consistent
silence
awareness that when you wake up in the morning, have something that brings you joy. So whatever that may look like, is it brushing your hair, or is it, always putting on a pretty dress, or is it stretching, or is it taking a walk through the property? Do something for you so that you feel pride in who you are. And then you'll be able to confront being proud of yourself, because without self-awareness, how can we be proud of ourselves? We don't even see ourselves.
100,
So
yeah.
you're using your voice in place of your self-observance. That was like, it was powerful. And you did a really good job of holding your voice yesterday. And then whenever you were able to scream, I could hear it from here, not from here. And it was like, I think you wanted to bring it from here, but it's a practice. And I loved how it reminded me of when I was modeling. I was the person, like my manager, I guess, was so hard on me, and he was always like, I always felt, due to his words, and again I created him, due to his words, that I had to always suck in. So I never took a deep breath. I had to learn how to breathe from my abdomen.
Yeah.
And I got to relive that through you. And it gave me a lot of compassion for you. And whenever I was speaking to you about be patient with yourself, and I was speaking to me as well, you know, and it was like a really beautiful moment.
Wow.
And I was so grateful for it. And when we hugged, I was hugging you and I was hugging me. And this is why this mentorship program is so powerful, because we're just a constant reflection of one another over and over and over again. So how did what I expressed align with your experience yesterday?
So aligned. Just, I don't even like need to say anything. I don't need to say anything because it was just so like aligned.
Whoa!
Yeah, I don't need to say anything for once. Yeah, no. You're so right about all of that. And the obsession thing, like, I've been aware of that obsession thing only, like I have been, because when my mum always expressed that I had obsessions, I always knew that I did. And I always wondered, what is it? Is it that I'm just, like, passionate? I was always just like, am I just, like, an extremely passionate individual?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I am.
Yeah, you just are using it at your lowest expression.
I'm using it in a lower, yeah.
Yeah. So whenever we begin working to rising that expression through awareness, we have to literally open the closet where we have stuffed all of it, and we have to pull it out, and we have to view it all, and we have to see it all, like lay it out. You know, it's like you're unpacking, you're laying it all out. Where am I going to put it? And you have to take each thing, and you have to really dissect it. And the more we dissect each thing that we've stashed in our dark closet, our lowest expressions that are operating like behind the scenes, like the wizard behind the curtain, we're operating through those lower expressions until we pull them out and bring them to light. Mm-hmm. And then you start just gradually getting taller in your happiness, because you tend to make yourself small.
Yeah, I do. I do. That's another.
Yeah, so it's another layer.
Yeah.
And so all of this, you're going to begin. Those things you're going to begin filling up those void of high expression energy with the higher expression. So the more awareness, you're going to pour that back in, and the more strength you're going to have throughout your abdomen, throughout your back, and the more you're going to stand tall. Because you're going to have so much pride.
So nice.
And that's where your pride in yourself is going to come from, is through all of these awarenesses of. And I want to share with you that, like, you literally paid me to be this for you, you know, like this exchange.
Yeah.
And so if it feels like I'm hard on you, it's out of love.
Never.
Well, not yet.
No,
but yeah, I want you to know that, like, I'm going to continue. I won't give up on this process.
Me neither.
And you won't either, and I know that. You're very committed. And so this is going to allow us to just keep on pulling everything out of the closet, just unpacking.
Yeah.
And then and this is why this here is so important, because we will do these again, and you'll get to see yourself standing tall and being tall and feeling tall, and that's going to feel really wonderful for you. That's very exciting.
The howler monkeys agree.
They agree.
They really are.
Okay, Carolina. So I gave you the intention of a giver. Your intention was more, I don't want to say difficult for me to find, but I wanted to give you something that was going to be possibly challenging to yourself, and it was to give to yourself first. And what I learned from the journey was that, well, I learned that you really connected deeply to the medicine, and giving to yourself was setting yourself aside and being with yourself so that you could feel, and you felt deeply with yourself. And while I was meditating and receiving the emotions from you, so like whenever you were sitting here and I came over here, I was pretty emotional, and I was listening to my intuition to come and get you and carry you out to see the toucans. And then I got very emotional when we were standing under the trees, and I asked, what is this emotion? And it was your emotion. And your emotion was being created inside of you to where you could let it out. And then you did, and the hammocks, and it was so beautiful, and I was so moved with still the emotion. It was I asked, what is this? And it was, you are holding an immense amount of ancestral suffering, like a lot. And you are the chosen one in your bloodline to feel that.
Got chills.
It's powerful. It's very, very powerful. And it's a lot of a responsibility. And it's why the universe just took everything and made it happen for you to be here. For you to be here right now is because this suffering is very is a lot of the reason why you aren't as vulnerable, because there's so much in there. There's a lot. And so what we're going to do is attempt, well, because your grandfather is already connected to me and contacted me, I'm aware that you are with your ancestors at all times. And so what we're going to attempt to do is start from the present and work our way through those ancestral timelines if it allows. But then again, we're going to go wherever we're guided, wherever it's needed. And there are going to be many, many emotions shed.
I feel so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm so ready for you.
it's very, the monkeys are very happy. It's very energetically draining. It's so much release that you have to honor your rest. I feel like you're going to be resting a lot through all of the transmutation that you're going to be doing. And when we get to transmute a lot of that generational energy, it's going to be like this giant lotus blossom into then you'll be able to serve. But right now you have to serve yourself. Mainly yourself at all times. And we are all going to honor that, you know, because it's important for your healing. How does that feel for you?
As soon as you spoke it, I felt I put the attention on my, like, that I had to take my space when we walked through the hammocks. I felt like, oh, okay, I felt like a release again. I felt this energy again, like being just for myself to release. And I felt that I suppressed so much in this lifetime,
and you are your ancestors, so you have all of their suppressed energy too, because of your heritage, your culture. You had to be super strong. Everyone had to be so strong, and you're the first person that gets to be soft. It's a lot. And so you're going to soften, and I feel it's going to feel like the mentality of weakness, and it's because it's gonna be so much pouring out, but honor it at all times. And I want you to know that it will be so honored on my side, and I know for them as well, because
So.
your healing is generational, like, deeply generational.
I feel it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
that's why you're here.
Yeah.
And what that means, though, is you have the ability to dissolve hundreds of timelines that were created through suffering and fear. It's powerful. Yeah, it's very powerful. You give me chills.
Before I came here, I knew that already. I knew that for you, it would be that, and I knew that it would be about the whole like war thing. You know, like your granddad in the war and stuff.
Yeah.
And then your grandmother as well, right? I mean,
Yeah,
because they were together,
they were together.
and so she had to live. How many children did they have?
2.
Okay.
2.
And they had to, so she had to live with that and fear. Yeah, it's intense. Super nibbles.
As you're saying all of these things, it's just amazing how I can relate to both of you in so many aspects. Like, we all complement one another in this entire journey.
Yep.
So well.
It's beautiful how it's a constant reminder that we planned this so in our higher selves planned, okay, we're all going to go to Seva at this time, and we're going to do this healing at this time, and all of the timelines align perfectly for this to be here.
And
To be
nothing's
this
going
way.
to stop us.
Right, and nothing did. Nothing.
Nothing.
Everything actually worked in your favor.
Yeah.
And it's a powerful message of how we are the creators of our reality. We do this. Every single detail is based on our belief in ourself, our belief in our worth. And so somewhere inside of you, you felt worthy to be here. You felt worthy of healing. And that is that's the greatest step forward, the movement, the action to get you on your highest timeline.
Yeah, there was this calling that it couldn't be denied anymore. It was so strong at a certain time. It was so strong. I was like, it's
Yeah.
no way back. Like just that one way. That's
Yeah.
it. One way ticket and goodbye. Yeah.
And then all of the work that each one of you did to be here is incredible. The selling of the house and the car, and then you getting a assistant, you finding someone to sublease your apartment. There's just so many steps that you took to provide comfort for yourself during this journey. And that's huge. So you don't have to stress while you're here. You don't have to have anything to distract you, because those distractions you would have created if you didn't truly invest in your healing. You would have allowed something to be unresolved so that it can take your focus away from yourself. And you didn't do that.
Wow.
It's a powerful message.
How easy that could have been to just not do it, but
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
this was
you
the
did it.
easiest choice
Yeah.
ever.
To choose yourself.
That's the hugest thing about this human experience is sometimes you really have to choose hard in order to have easy, but the hard is so beautiful and it's so meant to happen, like so.
Yeah, especially whenever you overcome these challenges that seem like in the moment it's like, this is so much, how is this going to happen, and then
Yeah.
it falls together and it gives you that boost of like, okay, I am a badass, I can do this, I can make this work. And that's what healing is every new day. And I feel like y'all have been here for months already. It's amazing. Like how quickly we just fall into family,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm.
And that just is a huge, it's a huge awareness how we did create this. We've done this before. This isn't new.
It's you hold the space as well so much for us to be this way.
Yeah.
You make it easier for us, or easy for
Good.
us, right?
Glad.
A huge thing that I've learned from you is just silence. That, but like, my old self would be so triggered at you being in that much silence. But it was just so, but my higher self was just so at peace with it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's in chaos we can't observe.
Yeah.
We have to have
Yeah.
silence to be able to observe our surroundings. I wanted to do an awareness check just to like maybe put some things in perspective. But curious if y'all know the color of the writing on the Casa de Seba sign.
Blue
What do you think it is?
color.
The color of the Casa de Seba, the
It's
writing.
Blue.
Yellow and green.
Purple.
Purple.
Oh, it's purple.
Oh,
Okay.
And what about the gate? What color is the gate?
It's out of wood and green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I just looked at it as like an oak wood, just like the thing.
yeah, like a golden, like
Yeah,
brown.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like these little details where to be so incredibly present, you want to know everything around you. And that the reason why that's so important to have this awareness of the silence within, so that we don't have all these things thinking, I have to do this, I'm thinking about that. Most of our thoughts are judgments about ourselves and our surroundings. So instead what we want to do is we want to replace that with correcting those with peace, but being so hyperly aware of our surroundings. That way our energetic field is free of confusion.
Yeah.
So whenever we're in an environment where people are close to us, their confusion doesn't overflow into our energetic field because we're aware of them automatically. We already
Yes.
know their energy might not be, maybe they have a lot of judgment and distractions. So we can be close to them, but have our boundaries, our healthy boundaries. That way we're not taking on everyone's energy, taking on all of these things. But even just knowing like the color of the writing on the sign, you would have to be in your peace whenever we're entering into the gate to observe that and not thinking about something else, even excitement. We have to balance our energetic field and our emotions so that we're not way up here, way down here. That also comes with deep breathing. Whenever we're breathing shallow from our throat, we can't find that silence and that peace. So that would be a really good, I would like for you to sit in the mirror, stand in the mirror, whatever, in the mirror, do breathing exercises, and you'll see you breathe from here and this goes in.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to do it, honestly. But you want to breathe from here and you
Yeah.
want to see your
I've
stomach
been practicing
expand.
so much.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been practicing so much. Like,
I love it.
That's you know, when I was on the hammock resting, that's all I was doing. It was just telling me, like, you need to do that. You need
Yeah.
to just, yeah.
And it'll click and then you'll never go back. And then
Yeah.
you'll feel so, from being so sucked in all the time, when I was modeling and I didn't breathe deeply, I was always so worried, like, what does my stomach look like? Has to be really flat, so I was like uncomfortable, you know?
Yes.
And now I'm like breathing deep and I'm like, I love it. It's
Yeah.
like, if it moves, it's like, I know that I'm breathing well,
Yeah.
you know? And it also helped with that body image issue that so many of us have. So many of us have that from the Matrix.
Many. Like, you're so right about that whole modelling thing about,
Uh-huh.
because after I lost the weight, constantly, like, it's even a thing now. I think I'm even doing it now. Like, it's just like, it's so not natural just to go, like it's just so as a woman it's so programmed to just always like, obviously like when like sometimes I've had it where I've like walked past like say like attractive something or other, attractive men or something, and I specifically my belly
Sucked
like
in.
really sucked in, but like I noticed that even when I'm not consciously sucking in, I'm
Not
without even
resting.
realizing I'm not resting my belly ever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna really be aware of that now.
Yeah, it's such a great awareness. It allows us to just love ourselves.
Yeah.
However, and the more awareness we have too on our womb and our breath, the more our back goes straighter, because we're like,
Yeah.
it's in alignment. Everything has to be perfectly aligned energetically for our channel to be perfectly clear and open and available for us to receive all the way through, down through the core, up to the heavens, back into our body. It's just a consistent energy like this. And so if things are out of alignment, if we're not connecting to each one of these energy pillars, then it's like a clog in a pipe, in a drain pipe. And then it doesn't allow us to receive all of the full information.
That's why we can't. That's why it's physically not possible for us to get all of this universal, infinite energy from the beginning of creation like this, because we have these clogs.
Right.
From being in the
program.
3D and the program. Yeah.
Yeah, from the program. And the program is designed to keep us out of alignment. The TV will keep us from our third eye opening because it's showing us a reality instead of us seeing our own reality. And so there's just a constant confusion there. And then, our crown chakra must be open for that information to be coming in. And there's so many things that keep us from opening our crown. It's wild.
Really.
And I mean, even just like chemicals that you put on your scalp, those are all preventing us from having a very clear and aligned channel. That's the source. That's how it's going to come through us. So if that's clogged, that's blocked, how's it going to come in? It's going to have to like bathe us, and we're going to hope to receive it. But it's all of these things that are just constantly preventing us from really being attuned to that source energy that we all are available. It's available to all of us.
All of us, and that's a
Terminado.
huge thing. Like, before coming here, I thought that this whole like finding the answers within and just getting internal messages to help you release all of these energetical clogs. I believe that it was some structure. There was some unbelievable structure. There was some huge process to it. It was like such a bit, because I'm so used to the business world in a sense, like just like the like I thought it was such a structure, and it would happen if I put that in place and I put that in place and I put that in place. But it's just so not the case when you come to a high frequency. This
It's
is
like
my,
all these forms being in the right order, the right
Yeah,
shape.
yeah.
Square goes in square, circle goes in circle.
Yeah, no.
So
Just
it's like
no.
it completely neglects the energetic part of it.
Really does.
It really does.
It really does. And I didn't realise, but I've only realised now since being in this high frequency environment, which is just the jungle. It could be any jungle. It doesn't have to be Shell's jungle.
Just the jungle.
Just the jungle
Wow.
alone. It brings you back
Beautiful
to your
place.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It brings you back to your natural state of being. And now I'm just naturally getting all of these downloads just come to me just so naturally. The word natural is important here. Because I thought it wasn't natural. I thought it was so structured and such a control. And
Did you ever get downloads where you felt it was forced rather than something that was truly natural?
yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of this is resistance. There's
Yeah.
a lot of resistance that when you're in when I was in a low frequency environment, which was 30 minutes away from London, I just felt like I always had to distract myself with something, and that's why I couldn't receive this. But rest, being in a high frequency environment, consuming high frequency stuff, it completely and utterly gives you this, well, it gave me anyway, a magical awareness that I didn't realise that I was capable of without the whole structure business plan side of things. Yeah.
Your observation.
Yeah, that's my observation anyway.
So I think y'all have been here for 6 sunrises. Is this correct?
Yes.
Don't know. I've been here in the present
5.
moment.
Oh, nice.
5 sunrises today.
Record keeper knows.
Wow. And so, since before coming, Carolina, what did you perceive this was gonna feel like or be like, or you were the most quiet out of everyone. That's why I was like, yep, there's some ancestral stuff in there because you're quiet, and so you didn't contact me a lot. You didn't bother me or anything, you know.
Yeah, true.
And I felt like that was your mentality. It was like, I don't want to bother her. So what was your even your feelings before coming here, like packing to leave? Were you excited, or what was your thought process on that?
I trusted.
Good.
It was like I said before, there was like this huge knowing of this is this one-way ticket.
Mhm.
You know, I knew because beforehand I tried many different things to find the core of it, because I felt that there's something unhealed, or I've always felt like it's covered, or like a burden that I have to carry, and I didn't know what it is. And I always try to I've tried to find different methods, or diving a little bit in here and there. And this time I knew it has to be very, very profound.
Yeah.
And as I saw your offering and the other mentees and your journey and their journey, it just hit me. I just knew immediately,
That's
you
it.
have to be there, girl. And you have to do anything, to be there. So it was just this one channel for me and this focus.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
It really is.
And even I was, as well, of course, scarcity popped up, or anxiety, many different thoughts at once. It was a little roller coaster-esque, but still I knew, I don't care. The waves are there, but I'm
Riding on.
I'm riding them.
I love it.
And jumping into them when
I'm
you go to the
jumping,
beach.
yeah. I still don't know how to surf, but I'm having my surfboard.
You're
I'm going there.
energetically surfing.
Exactly, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Elise, what about for you, leading up to?
I've already
Oh, you did say.
I've said that, yeah.
Okay. For you?
Ooh, I had so much to do.
Like what?
Well, I had to sell my house. I had to sell my car. That involved signing over a power of attorney. and
Did you have to, or you decided you wanted to do these things?
I decided I wanted to do these things. I could have rented out my house, but I wanted to get rid of the attachment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
All
So,
in.
Yeah, it was a lot, and I'm deeply grateful to my family for just helping it. There was just
Absolutely.
so much to do.
Yeah.
So just them helping with the packing a bit was amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So that's also.
everything really came together
Yeah.
for this to happen.
And what about your feelings before coming here? What did you
I
anticipate?
felt a calm.
Good.
I felt a calm, and I
felt
think
a
you
calm.
two noticed the calm just coming here and
The
getting
calm.
here.
Calm.
Calm.
He was
Calm. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was very calm coming into
Yeah,
this.
you really was.
Yeah.
That's what I loved.
Yeah.
How you were calm, because that's
That's
a
her
part of
opposite.
yeah.
Oh, when she got to the Airbnb right outside of San Jose, she's like, I know I'm talking really fast right now, and I'm really flustered, but you know it'll settle down. I promise. I promise.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, but Akolm, I'm right where I want to be and right where I need to be, and
Crazy.
with that comes peace.
Only 5 sunrises. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And already so much has happened.
Yeah.
It's been 6 mornings we've been here, but we've slept here for like 5.
Oh,
I
okay,
think.
okay.
Yeah.
5 sleeps.
So you were
5
you were
sleeps.
right.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
We've got so much more coming.
Oh yeah. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Not just for us, but for everyone on this live and everyone that watches Shell. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, there's a
For
lot.
everyone on this live.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I look forward so much to sharing my personal story and all of us together doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Very much.
Allowing people to believe in healing, allowing people to relate, because without there's so much dread that's being shared, so much dread and low frequency information just pushed out there. So if we can begin sharing high frequency evolved information, you know, just one of us sharing these things and even one person seeing that they can relate to either one of you, or, you know, the stories don't even have to be the same. It just has to be the energy behind it of choosing ourselves. Then anyone who's watching or who does watch is going to choose themselves just through that, the purity of us vulnerably being here
Yeah.
and sharing them.
Yeah, and just leading up to this, you know how I took that trip to Sweden, as I told you all, I was already embracing the energy,
Yeah.
what's going to be
Oh,
coming,
really?
and I met someone who was at this place in right outside of Stockholm, and just struck up conversation, because we were both there alone, and I was on a solo trip, and he messages me 3-4 mornings later, and he just thanks me for
Wow.
for our conversation,
Oh, that's
and
beautiful.
it just brought him so much peace, and
So you already activated your service to humanity.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got a huge thing to say as well. Before I got here, it was hard. It was 70% complete and utter dread, and 30% excitement. But the 70% dread was because my ego was so afraid of feeling low frequency emotions like fear, anxiety, and all of the emotions that I've felt throughout my life, that it was so much dread. So I wasn't really looking forward to it that much, in a sense, because it was just so much dread. Because
It's like you were afraid you were going to feel those here?
yeah, a lot, like 10 times more intensely.
Huh.
Yeah, but as soon as I arrived here, I realised that it was weird, because leading up to it, I had so many downloads of your awareness is the most important thing, your awareness is the most important thing, your awareness is the most important thing. And then when I got here, my awareness just instantly tapped in, and it's like my ego dissolved, and like, not dissolved, but in an amazing way, is in my awareness dissolved my ego. Like my higher self, which is my awareness, dissolved my ego,
You began integrating.
integrating like straight away, just so naturally, just so flow state, just so naturally, where it wasn't any of these extreme dark emotions. So what I'm trying to get at here is, if you're haven't started healing from the program since birth that we've all gone through of low frequency emotions, then don't think that it is an extreme, harsh, dreadful time and experience. And it's not these, well, this is my personal experience. it's not these dreadful, horrible emotions. Your awareness is more powerful than them. And
We are not our emotions.
We are not our
Yeah.
emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just because the momentum is so much into the 3D and lower vibrational
Yeah.
ways of just being,
Being.
and feeling, it doesn't need to remain that way, and it doesn't need to be just as hard as our lives were,
Mhm.
just through awareness.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the most present day in my entire life.
Same. Same.
I've never been more present.
Same.
You
ever.
said that to me.
And that
Today
was so
is the
powerful.
most present day I'm ever gonna have, and I was like, yes.
I've ever had.
I've ever had.
Yeah. And here I am journaling now for the
Yeah.
for the first time ever.
Yeah, and it's powerful. It's just connecting you closer to presence, because you have to be present to have something to journal about, or you're just going to be writing down your, whatever thoughts about other things.
Yeah.
And the best way to, for me, to explain how to be more present is to recognize those thoughts and recognize that they're judgment, mostly on ourselves. All of our excessive thinking is judgment. And whenever we are in the light or beings of the light, the last thing we want is to be judgmental, right? So whenever we connect to that and go, that's not right, that's not me, I'm of the light, I'm not a judgmental person, that's a very low frequency. So then you begin wanting the urge to raise from that judgmental thinking is super powerful, so it keeps you more present. So it's like we're not clearing, you can't just go in and remove all of your thoughts, but you can correct them with being more present. But is like, if you're thinking, oh, what I did yesterday, that was so embarrassing, blah, blah, blah. But right now, how do I feel? But right now, what is this feeling? What am I doing? I'm sitting in a beautiful, amazing jungle, receiving energy and healing, and like, what is there to really be upset about?
Nothing.
What are we looking at?
No, you were just playing that beautiful soundbite. Bergs. Bergs was the name of it on my phone, at least, and I just had to go listen to that on my own. So I went into the hammock. So I'm looking that direction because I just was laying in the hammock, looking up, just admiring this absolute beauty that we're all a part of.
Yeah.
And there's so much inner chatter, and that inner voice just takes us from the wonder and the beauty
Yeah.
of everything
So
around
true.
us, and we don't get that energy. It's just the lower vibrational energy.
Yeah.
So I was looking that direction because
You're like, yeah, No,
it's extraordinary.
it is.
Yeah.
Every day I wake up and I'm like, I did this. We created this jungle. It took that high frequency to say, Mother Nature, let's embrace her, and then build this incredible world that we're in right now, And even here, though, in this magical place, there's still lower frequency distractions, like the neighbors cutting down trees, that kind of thing, where it's just like, how could you do this to my paradise? But then I have to correct that and be like, oh, this is for me. You're cutting down a tree so that it will trigger me, so that I will have to find more compassion, so that I'll have to embody more compassion for someone who doesn't understand or is not as aware, consciously aware, that you're eliminating a home for many dozens of animals just by cutting down one tree. And these people don't even know that. All they're thinking is, I want to build a house for my family.
Yeah.
And I'm pissed.
Yeah.
But then I have to go back in and be
Yeah.
like, wow, they're so incredibly unaware because of the program. They're not from here, so that they came here to escape it, but brought it with them. So I have to find compassion for that. That is the continuous work that it takes to stay present and in peace, because I see people who are irate about the construction that's happening here. I mean, losing it, just pissed, like so bothered by all of the people moving here who are building things. They're angry about it, but without the reflection of they don't know. They don't know. And we have to have compassion for them and their lack of conscious awareness.
And
Yeah.
we see this truth of having compassion for others. You know, Jesus said on the cross in the Bible to just forgive them for they know not what they do. And
Yeah. That's
I know it's all
huge.
over. And
It's the truth.
it's just an eternal truth.
It is an eternal truth.
It's timeless.
One thing I want, a word that I want to reframe within my life, and that can take it as you will, is replace, you know, like the whole healing thing. You know how we say, let's do the work.
Yeah. Work.
Like, replace it with like flow. Because
Replace the word work
with flow.
with something, yeah.
Only because, like, when you, because you were saying work a lot on your TikToks and stuff before I came, I thought, work, okay, I associated that with, like, my actual business work, the structure, the planning, and it's so not that. It's
Yeah.
so, do you know what I mean?
It's-
Maybe not flow,
But something, no, actually Dedia and I had this same conversation because it hasn't always resonated with me either.
Yeah.
Because of the word work has a lower frequency
See, yeah.
vibe to it based
Yeah.
on the program.
Oh yeah.
So there definitely is another word we can use, and we will create that.
yeah, we will.
But a lot of my
Yeah.
we
Much
are
needed.
creating it. A lot of my messages on social media have to
Yeah.
connect the person with a word. So like if I learned through Diddy and Radha, actually they were like, you're gonna have to kind of bring yourself down a
Down,
bit
yeah.
so that people can understand what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
So there is, putting in the energy exchange with ourselves
Self,
would be the
yeah.
same as work.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Exchanging
So-
energy with myself. But people
Yeah.
would be like, huh?
Yeah,
That's the work.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
that's so
consistent
true. Yeah.
meeting ourselves every single day. We have to wake up and meet ourselves every day.
Okay.
That's what happens with a job or work in the matrix, in the
Yeah.
3D world.
Yeah.
Is it's a distraction to keep people from meeting themselves every day. Because if you have something else to focus on, you're not meeting yourself every day and sitting with yourself, sitting inside yourself and accepting every single emotion of who you are and how you got here. So yeah, it's a great awareness. There's a lot of reframes that are just it's a consistent
Yes, consistent.
it's a
Yeah.
consistent
Flow.
flow, sure. Yeah. To get that, to get things reframed. It's part of the unlearning. It's very much part of the unlearning. There are so many words or spells that are programmed into us that we do not need. They do not serve us at all.
Sorry.
Huge.
Sorry.
In the UK,
Sorry.
huge.
And I mean, even just saying like, I don't like that. Why do we have to say that? Why don't
Yeah.
we say what we do like?
Yeah.
You know? But it's a don't, want, these words that keep us in a lower vibration. I don't like that. Okay, but you're focusing on the negative of it. So what do you like? Let's go with that.
Carolina and I were speaking earlier, and I started explaining how just not being in a present moment, what happens with that and the things I don't like, and then I just consciously in the moment just changed that entire train of awareness to just bring it to when I am present, here are the things that come from it. I view things objectively, and everything has so much more clarity. So that was really good to just reframe in that present moment, to just bring it to that, to focus on why we're here, not what we don't want.
Right. Yeah, it's huge to reframe everything and share the equal higher frequency of it. Everything has an equal opposite. So if it's equally, I hate this, or I'm never going to do that, okay, but what do you love and what do you always? There's always an equal opposite. And if we can always focus on that equal opposite of the lower frequencies, we will just gradually, naturally continue to raise. And it makes us more aware too. Okay, well, if I hate people who do this, Well, then what do I love? What do I love about people? So
I'd
you're-
much rather hear that.
Right, right. And you would
Everyone
much
does.
rather have that train of thought too than acknowledging all the things that you can't stand about something or someone or a group of people or life in general. I hate it when people do that.
And I thought of an analogy as well, like a snake shedding its skin. It doesn't go back to the skin.
Right.
It doesn't go back to it. It just keeps going. It
It
keeps
leaves
going
the
forward.
skin there and it
Nature.
keeps moving.
It leaves it.
The old identities.
Not even.
And we don't go
not
back
even
to
there.
it. Doesn't try to fit back in it.
Yeah.
It's a great analogy, yeah.
It's lovely.
The butterfly doesn't go back to the
To
cocoon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it.
It's so true, but in evolution, I think a way to become proud of yourself is to just neutrally observe how you used to be, in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, obviously, don't attach to it in the slightest at all, because
It's not serving us.
yeah.
Yes, it is important. That's a big reason why I often, call out myself on my posts. I'm like, well, I used to do this, or this used to be my identity there, because I want to remember, and I want to acknowledge and how far I've come and my evolution, and from that you can go this way, and it's possible in all ways. I mean, like I posted today, I grew up being told to just kick people's ass all the time, and I did it, and that was like, it was a part of my life to be that chick, like, don't mess with her, and to be now the complete opposite. But there are times like when people are cutting down a bunch of trees where I'm like, I just want to kick their ass. That comes into my awareness, and I'm like, ew, that was the old identity, and we're just going to have to recorrect that. Now, would I ever resort to physical expression again in a negative way? Absolutely not. But the awareness is still there, and we have to honor our old identity, because most of our own old identity was ruled through our ego, and our ego was created by us so that we could get here, so that we could be strong enough to make it to this timeline.
So thankful for my ego.
So
So
thankful.
thankful
For bringing us here.
So thankful. And then
much.
now we integrate them. We integrate the ego, and we get to soften. But the ego is strong and hard, and our souls are soft, and our souls don't have fear, because we're eternal. There's nothing to fear. Our souls do not die. Our souls cannot be harmed. Our souls do not feel the pain of this human experience. They learn and grow, and so that allows us to soften into our highest self, and that's very exciting.
And with that comes a profound gratitude for everything that has led to this point.
Exactly. Even the trauma.
Yeah.
And
even
whenever
that.
we can say, I'm grateful for this trauma that occurred and that thing that occurred, and I'm grateful for it because it allows me to be who I am today, and it allows me to help each one of you today in your specific needs, I'm okay with it. I'm at peace. I am peace with every experience I've had. That's true growth, you know?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Profound.
We talked her to sleep. Okay, well,
Oh, she's up.
you gotta protect us. Okay, well, thank you all for watching this live, and I will keep it up on my YouTube. Ciao!
Bye.
It's always how to end it is my problem.
Sweet.
This?